Would L4D2 tank be overpowered in TF2? This is pretty interesting the topic. Like in TF2 we have 9 cards and it have a role I could say in TF2 like the offense, defense and support, but tank is the tank card. Like it's not the defense just like heavy because heavy in TF2 his can be like the offense card or assault card. At the same time, he can be a defense card or the tank card, but we just add a tank L4D2 to become a tank card. So let's start watching.
In Left 4 Dead 2, the tank is scary, but if we copy and pasted him into TF2, would he still be scary? After trying it, I think the answer is no.
What the fuck? There's so many
No,
tanks.
even at his peak. His strongest form is Expert mode, which gives him 8,000 health, and each punch and rock does 100 damage. But none of that was scary. How? Starting with his rock, it takes him way too long to throw the damn thing. Almost
In L4D2 it have a pattern for the lock, like from the straight right side or left side, it have a pattern for the tank when he throwing a lock. And is always random.
everything in TF2 fires the instant you left click. But when you right click to throw rock, it takes 3 seconds for the rock to actually get thrown. There's so much time to see it coming that there's basically no chance of catching anyone with it. Here's a tank stopping the cap. He goes for a rock throw, but there's so much time for the blue players to see what's coming to back up.
And so overpowered. Like if you can see from here, lock is become explosive. It's so very
This tank
okay
is
for
in
me.
the enemy intel room and decides to throw rock, but there is ample time for everyone to clear the area, so nothing happens. Across the 28 matches we played, nobody managed to intentionally kill with it. There were 6 successful rock kills out of the 473 total rocks thrown, but they were literally all dumb luck. On Badwater, a spy sneaks behind the tank, but gets clipped by the rock's hitbox as it's being thrown and dies.
That's normal thing for L4D2 because the hit detection or the hitbox is so well, you know, if you play L4D2, you know it.
On Steel, this spy hops on the tank's head and dies to the rock. On Viaduct, this spy just charges into it and dies. Then we have this tank on Badwater tossing a rock into the crowd and happened to catch a red soldier. This blue scout on point that didn't notice the massive dude throwing a rock. And last, the closest we have to a legitimate rock kill. This red scout watches the tank begin to pick up a rock and throw it at them, and decides to simply eat it and die. So rock throw, not very effective at hurting people, not scary. Next, his punch. It's actually decent at murder since it has extra range and hurts enough to matter. It can kill, but it never ends up becoming that threatening. First, to his credit,
Wait, is his punch hit the multiple character? Because in L4D2, between campaigns and the versus, in campaigns, tank can only punch one player, but in versus, tank can punch multiple characters at the same time. So
he can
let's
kill.
see, like, is this if tank add into the TF2, is he can punch so many people at one punch or like one punch per one character or one player?
The extra range makes his punches longer than any existing TF2 melee, which tripped people up. Players would die fighting the tank at what they incorrectly thought was a safe distance. Such as this blue engineer, who maintains a specific distance from the tank, but as it turns out, wasn't actually big enough. Or this blue scout, who faces off against Red's tank, but has too much faith in the gap between them. The extra knockback on the punches also helped secure kills. For example, the blue tank slaps this red soldier across the map, who craters to his death. Blue tank sneaks his fingers through the gate and flicks this red soldier. This red engineer gets flung across the entire base, ramps off the railing, and dies. And as you can imagine, the knockback is extra dangerous around environmental hazards. This red demo turns the corner into blue tank's loving fists. The red soldier follows the tank down and learns why it's not a good idea. But even without surprise fall damage or deceptively long hands, the tank collected a decent amount of kills from the usual reasons as well. Overconfident players who think they can take him for some reason, and players caught by surprise. You would think the massive earthquakes would be hard to overlook, but an entire team of blue players were sitting around waiting for the doors to point C to open, and gets surprised by a red tank coming up from behind. Here's a red team that believed in themselves a little too much, squaring up against the blue tank. So the punches weren't bad, but here's why they never became great. Two major problems that add up to them being just eh. Problem 1. His punches are really slow, which makes him take forever to kill anything. There's a 1.5 second cooldown between swings, so because each hit is 100, literally anything besides a kunai spy will need at minimum 2 punches to kill, which takes this long to happen. That may not seem too bad, but we're in ideal conditions without the chaos of 20 other dudes, without punches whiffing, and most importantly, without medics. A heavy is 3 hits, but at a medic, 7 hits. That combines with his second major problem, running slower than even the heavy, to mean that in actual gameplay, it is not hard to avoid being killed by him. You can literally just walk away from him, and he can't catch you or swing fast enough to get you. He can find kills, and he's not completely hopeless, but the tank dilemma is that he has to wait for openings, unable to create any himself. You need to make a mistake for him to do anything. If you don't get stuck on a prop, or misjudge the safe distance from him, there is nothing he can do about you standing out of range.
Okay, tank get one backstab and he is dead. If he have like the 8,000
This is a good example of that. The blue tank is chasing a demo down their vents, and a scout and spy end up getting involved, but none of them die because they were smart about how close you can get. Here's red team fighting a tank that gets 0 kills since nobody gave him an opening. You press S and he's screwed. That's why punches not scary. As for the last big thing about him, his 8,000 health. This did matter since so much health takes a serious and sustained team effort to bring to 0. Here's the red team taking half a minute to grind a tank down. Of course, his hands and rocks are still bad at killing, and his feet are still very slow. So how did this health pool matter? It was actually relevant for him as an effective objective babysitter. Sitting on the objective where people have to come to you makes his move speed irrelevant, and the high knockback is very effective as "please go away." In the tests, each team had a tank, so you can't just brute force the objectives on your own, because the enemy tank will come over to stop you. But there's still many moments to, for example, toss players stopping the cart for a point cap.
I think this issue can be fixed. First of all, the balance. For me, everything is so balanced. As for the TF2, you don't need to care about like it have delay 1.5 seconds. So I think it's balanced. But if you think like it still don't really good, so you can add ability like just like Versa, like you can punch multiple player at the one swing punch. So the issue 1.5 seconds, like okay, it deal 100 damage, so that is the fact. But adding the one punch can hit multiple player, it will be get fixed. And another major problem for me is the 8,000 health. So you can see, I don't know which map is this, but like it take, I think it probably take like almost 2 minutes for kill one tank. So I think I prefer just like versus that can have the 6,000 HP. So as you can see from here, heavy demo man with engineer, soldier, and medic got to kill like it have 5 or 6 player to kill one tank. It took 2 minutes. So I think is so many. Like imagine this is only one tank that he just bet for the enemy team to focus on him, and then blue team got flank like spy, go zap, sentry, soldier, or demo man or heavy just kill the medic, and then use key Uber or like flank or anything. And then the team just done. I think like 8,000 is took enemy team to kill one tank. So I think it took a long time. So about the slowing speed, I think it can be fixed. Right? Use the banner. I cannot remember which banner, but it will boost the speed boost. And if he use a melee that if he hit the teammate, he will get a speed boost. So I think it can be fixed for me.
For a point cap.
And here. Like here, 8,000 health is too much for enemy team to deal with the enemy team tank. Like for example, 8,000 health, okay, you can pretty easy to kill the tank if you have a spy. But imagine like this is the 1v1 tank and blue team just pushing the payload. And imagine like the red team, they just spawn and like, hey guys, we need spy to kill a tank, so spy can go just a tank. But imagine like no one plays spy in that time because spy is hard start to play for me. The enemy team got to like, well, we got to kill a tank. The blue team, they need to have a spy to kill a tank, and this is the last push. So like they need to spend a lot of time to kill one tank, and like at least like 10 seconds waiting for the red team to spawn. So like this guy, he just like, well, I'm just throwing, just buying a time for teammate. And then like heavy and scout got to deal like 8,000 damage to kill one tank. So I think 6,000 at least, just like Versa, and just add the ability, one swing punch can hit multiple player.
You can also keep players on a point, such as what this red tank did here. The blue team was running out of time to cap C, and flinging people off at the top of the stairs stopped their overtime attempt. CTF with his 8,000 health was especially silly when you can just walk in and walk out with the intel. So he's good at helping his team with the objectives. But again, there's limits to it. Almost every class has some way to mess with him. First, easily the most important class in the whole test, the Spy. He can one-shot the tank at any circumstance, and it's not even hard since the tank is almost always preoccupied. The Spy cucks the tank so thoroughly that 58 out of 66 tank deaths were backstabs. Spy even single-handedly invalidated a playstyle tanks experimented with. Besides playing the objective, tanks realized that you could just walk into your backline and start causing chaos, even spawn camping. But this quickly fell out of favor because you don't last long, you will get backstabbed. Tanks gave up on it after some tries, and decided they were better off sticking to their team and the objective. As for the other classes, they had knockback. The Pyro's Air Blast was very good at bullying him. The Engineer's Sentry, besides the damage output being good, causes enough knockback to stop the tank at level 2. This was huge because in gameplay, this combined well with the pyro who would airblast the tank into the air. Then the sentry gun pins the tank into a corner, and from there, he simply dies. Many heavy players picked up the Natasha, which broadly made the tank's movements even more tedious and awkward. It helps create more space and leeway for your teammates to deal with him. There is also the Holiday Punch for stunning the tank. Scout had the Force of Nature, which was surprisingly effective. There was a blue tank that was trying to take the intel, but this red scout managed to hold him back until his team arrived to help. This blue heavy is pushing up Badwater first, alongside a Force of Nature scout. Apparently, the Force of Nature is so good that the red tank would rather just give up. Only when the scout runs off to do something else does the tank move in to attack the heavy. Snipers were surprisingly useful with the Huntsman taunt. This tank was pushing into point C, but gets caught by the taunt and shortly after, backstabbed. So his 8,000 health is good, but ultimately not scary because backstabs and knockback keep him in check. So on the whole, even at his peak expert mode power, he's not that crazy in TF2. His rock sucks, his punches are okay, his health keeps him from being irrelevant, and his impact on the game was basically making the objectives more complicated for everyone. After seeing the tank at 8,000 health, I also checked what health the tank would start to fail his simple job of bothering the objective, and I found that to be somewhere around 3,000 health. I lowered the tank's health by 1,000 each time, and 4,000 was when we started noticing the tank had to actually respect his enemies. Here's the blue tank running into point B. There's not even a sentry gun here, just a few dudes. Yet the 4,000 health disappeared without too much trouble. 2,000 health and tanks are getting bullied by even level 1 sentry guns. This red tank runs into the alleyway, and it is absolutely no sweat for blue team to put them down. So with the right number, he could legitimately be a funny and fair comeback mechanic for the losing team in TF2. Tanks had niche tech where they could rocket jump with the rock. The rock's explosion on impact hurts them too, so you can throw it at your feet to launch yourself.
This is so fucking good. Oh my god. Imagine like in L4D2 tank can do this. So this is
It doesn't go
okay.
very far though, so it had limited use.
That's quite balanced for me. I think that's it for the video. It's just like show how to gameplay. Okay, if you guys ask me, this card, like imagine if TF2 developer they announcement like we're gonna add tank L4D2 into the TF2 as a new class. This class will roll the TF2 gameplay. Why? Okay, here's the thing. Imagine like TF2 we have a night class, and night class we have a role, and then we have subclass too, and we have a different weapon to use. But adding the tank L4D2 into the new class, so I'm gonna call tank L4D2 to the tank. So he become a tank into the TF2. So why I say this card will break TF2 gameplay is because right here, imagine this situation. Tank have, okay, let's just say he have 4,000 health, like for the athletes, he have 4,000 health. He have ability punch and knock back enemy. He can throw knock. But imagine like this is the casual game, and then tank have been added into the TF2. Imagine like this is not will happen into the TF2. The thing that it happen is this tank he's go to the point, bait the enemy, and then red team they need to like focus killing a tank because tank will become annoying. Then the blue team they just like, oh well we gotta go find here. Sentry got stabbed by spy, and then like demo man heavy soldier can find the medic or kill heavy. It will be destroy the TF2 dynamic, the tactic and gameplay for. So imagine at this scenario at the I think it's the Backwater, I guess that I cannot remember the map name. This is the last push for the blue team. Imagine red team and blue team can have only one tank and they have 6,000 health. So this is the last push. So imagine engineer put the sentry over here. So it have 3 engineer. So for the TF2 normally gameplay with our tank, the impossible thing that if you want to push is have a medic with the Uber and then push with soldier, devilman or heavy. So engineer enemy team will have the short circuit to counter the devilman and soldier. So the another tactic is let's bicep the sentry or kill the engineer at least 1 or 2 engineer and then zap sentry over here or over here to make a distraction from the team, and then you can go push with devilman, soldier or heavy. Or third tactic is over here you just let the soldier equip the direct hit, destroy the sentry and then push. Or tactic number 4, window from here, you just let the sniper snipe the engineer or make red team player die a lot and then blue team can push. So what if tank become a new card in TF2? It will destroy this tactic. It's because this is TF2. We have so many tactics, many plans and scenario that you need to work as a team. But if we have a tank class just like tank L4D2's, it will destroy the gameplay tactic and a lot of things because we have tank class. So the thing that come to brain for me right now, okay, this is my perspective. The thing is we just gotta Uber the tank. So tank he's going, like for example he have 4,000 HP. So he bait and then medic just Uber him. Devilman, medic, soldier, heavy just go destroy the sentry. So what if this push is fail? Most team will blame to the tank like, what the fuck are you playing, bro? Like, why you don't kill the sentry? Why you don't kill engineer? Why you don't punch the medic to go away when he pop the Uber? They should like having a plan like this is a support team. This is probably like this. It's because like the modern video game right now, we have a role just like tank, healer, support, offense class, class, just like even the mobile too. So if the tank had been added into the TF2, its main, it will break TF2 gameplay. It will destroy TF2 gameplay, not gonna lie. So I think it would be bad idea to adding a tank to become an official card in TF2. So if you guys ask me about the tank, like would the tank be overpowered in TF2? I can say yes. If they have a plan like just pop the Uber into the tank or let the tank become a bait and then like just push, everything will be okay. And even here, just let the tank become a bait into the control point and then the blue team, they just like find the enemy. I'm not gonna lie, like having the 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 6,000 or 8,000, it would be overpowered until the end. Because this is TF2, we have so many tactics, so many plans, so many scenarios, so it would be overpowered if you guys ask me.